let's talk about the real emotional challenge of being self-employed. This kind of lifestyle throws uncertainty at us any chance it can get. Market changes, clients disappear, income fluctuates. This easily triggers our stress responses, basically making calm, thoughtful decisions nearly impossible. And this is where simple systems really do become our emotional lifesaver. The truth is, in our industry, resistance is real, and it hits when you're tired and when you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again without getting the result. And I know that feeling because I live it. And worst of all, when those tasks take so much longer than you realized. So what do? Having a plan, even a flexible one, that gives you purpose and really does prevent burnout, because you know what's going on and you're in control in an unpredictable environment. So let's build a plan. Let's build a future-proof system that makes sure that we don't get caught out in the usual freelancing trap, such as the income trap, living paycheck to paycheck, worrying when the next one's going to come in. The business trap, focusing on small tasks that make you feel productive but don't actually build the business. Fun to do though. The reactive trap, taking on any work out of panic rather than making thoughtful decisions about where you want to go and why you want to do it. So instead, let's build systems that the future you want to do. Because these routines are what successful, self-employed, freelancing business owners do. They shift you from reacting today to then building tomorrow. And I'm all for living in the present, but you also need to be prepared for what's coming. And the most helpful systems do these 5 things. Money management, like setting aside certain percentages for your profit, your tax, and your pay day. Time management, blocking your day into structured chunks of what it is that you're doing, and making sure that throughout the day, you don't go get lost on small tasks. Therefore, have it on a calendar, set a reminder to come up every 3 hours of what you should be working on, and stay focused to that task. Finding clients means regular marketing rather than the feast and famine circles. So for me, if I do an outreach every Monday, every week, it could be 5 people, it can be 10 people, it can be 2, as long as you're doing something once a week for 4 hours, 2 hours, whatever you think you can do, that creates outreach. Non-negotiable, unless you're working or on holiday. And I think this is really important, like staying sharp, not only with the job that you're doing, but also expanding your skills. So for me, I went back and studied my 2 masters. I do small courses. I'm continuously expanding my knowledge. But I also think being a freelancer and being self-employed and the industry that I'm in, I'm so grateful that it gives me the opportunities to have that time to go out there and experience new things, rather than when things are slow, dwelling on that time and not doing anything productive. Use that time to learn something new or do something different. And setting boundaries. And this isn't just personal, this is client boundaries, but also pricing boundaries. Clear scope and pricing to protect your time. And each of these directly tackles one of those traps, creating a foundation for lasting success rather than constantly fighting and making your business become something that's not enjoyable and also not sustainable. A huge part of this puzzle is separating your worth from your productivity. There are days when I feel like doing nothing. Learning to take a break, go for a walk, go to the gym without beating myself up has been crucial, because your value doesn't come from constant output, no matter what anybody tells you. When routine breaks, feeling frustrated is completely normal, but it's also your body and your mind and your energy trying to tell you something. Because that spiral of that thought process that I'm not set up for this, I can't do this, or it's too hard or too challenging, it's usually because you're mentally exhausted and physically tired. And that isn't the optimal you talking, that is the stressed you talking. The skill is noticing the feeling and then understanding the reason. Tiredness, hormones, weather, just demotivated for a certain period of time, it is all completely normal. And responding with kindness and care to yourself and taking that moment is probably the most important thing you can do for yourself, because you will come back to it. Because often what we call being inconsistent isn't actually self-sabotage. It's really the fact that hard work takes energy. And I put off doing these videos for such a long time because when I first started out, I knew how much energy it took, and I had other things going on in my business. At the end of the day, it could be your mind and your body telling you need to take a step back before it becomes severe and reflect and review on the systems and the habits that aren't currently working. Listen to those signals. And by listening to those signals, you have to let go of these rigid expectations, because often it's these unmet expectations that actually hurt more than the failure itself. What I've learned is that being self-employed or a freelancer, however you want to put it, having your own small business, isn't about finding a magical solution. And it's definitely not about copying somebody else's grind. That's why copying mentors generally doesn't work when you're trying to copy their output, unless you're aligned energetically and cognitively with that kind of output. Understanding your own emotional needs, building supportive structures and systems, and defining success that is sustainable to the way you want to live your life. Letting go of outdated ideas about work, aligning yourself with who you are and what your values are. If this approach was at all interesting or helpful in any way, I would really love your support. So please hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell. I'm Jerry, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.